So guys, this is an instructional video on how to install a Boomba blow-off valve for a 2017 Ford Escape. The first process you'll need is to gather your tools up. You need a 15mm socket to take off the windshield wipers. You need a 10mm socket. You need a T25. This T25 will go in here and take off the reservoir. I'll get into all that later, but here we go. Just bear with me here as I'm the only person filming this, so I'll do it step by step and take you through the process. First step is I take my 10mm socket and I remove the bolt on this side and the other side. And the next step is I'm removing the windshield wipers with my 15mm socket. So all I did is I broke this loose, but what I did is I wanted to grab a hold of this while I break the nut loose so I don't twist anything into a position it shouldn't be. And now to take this off, I'm simply going to push in down here on the brake. Okay, and that gives a little bit, and then I'm going to take my other hand and I'm going to put it here, and I'm just going to rock this back and forth, and eventually it's going to pop off. Just a little tip, I popped the battery cover off and I put all of my my bolts and my nuts in here just so they don't get lost. You definitely want to keep up with those, so this is a good way to do it, or just put them in a cup. And if you have parts that look similar, definitely keep those separated so you don't forget where they go. Clips that look like this right here, you simply just take your screwdriver and get underneath there and pop that off. I've already done 7 of them, but I'm going to do this last one, but I just want to give you an idea how to pop it off. Next step was simply to take the T25 torque remover, unscrew the 2 screws that hold the reservoir on, and just lay it down. Next we will pop the top panel off. So I pulled the panel off, and all I did was I grabbed behind it back here in the back, and I just kind of gently pulled up on it, and I popped out 3 clips right there. And I went to the other side and I also popped out the 3 clips there. Don't try to pull it all out from one side, or you could easily break the panel, and that will not be cheap to repair. Next you have 2 more screws to take out, and they're right here, 1 on each side. They're also 10mm, so just break them loose and they'll come right out. Once the 2 screws are out, all you have to do is gently pull on it this way and it will pop right out. And I have everything laid out over here to the side. Here's where the blow-off valve will go. I will take out the 3 bolts holding it in place, disconnect it right here by simply pushing in that tab and pulling out, and then I'll put the blow-off valve on. Okay, so I got the original off, and what I'm going to do, I had a little problem. This was just a little bit too long. It was an issue getting in there to it, but I made it work. So you may want to find something really small, as one of these Allen wrenches that's really small to get in there and get to those 3 bolts that are there. But what I'm going to do now is, here's the blow-off valve. It has 3 set screws. So I'm going to just place this on. I'm going to place this onto here, and then I'm going to set those set screws, and I will then begin to replace it and put everything back together. So all 3 bolts are back in. I started with the bottom, and then I didn't fully tighten it. I just got all 3 started, and then I fully tightened the left one, then the right side, and then went to the bottom. The bottom was a little pain, but then plugged it back in. Alright, so I had to backtrack a little bit and took the set screws back out of it because it was not allowing the air to come through, and there was no hiss. So this is what it sounds like. Go in reverse and put everything back on the way you took it off, and you'll be good to go.